By 9 in the morning, my dad was outside my door, fists pounding, voice ricocheting through the walls, bellowing my name like I owed him oxygen. Ellie stood behind me in her pajamas, wide-eyed and clutching the glittery Christmas drawing she made for them. But moments like this never begin with shouting. They start quietly. One text, one choice, one line that reroutes everything. Mine started the moment my mom sent, "We're skipping your kid's birthday. Things are tight." And it ended with a truth no one in my family ever expected me to uncover. Before I begin, tell me where you're listening from so I know I'm not alone. My name is Scarlett, and for most of my life, I've survived by lowering my expectations, especially when it came to my parents. It sounds dramatic, I know. But when you grow up being the reliable one, the quiet one, the fixer who never gets thanked, you learn to swallow disappointment like part of your daily routine. I live in a tiny apartment near the coast, where the air always carries a mix of salt and old pine. It isn't fancy, but it's warm and mine. Just enough space for me and my daughter, Ellie, who fills every corner with crayons, sparkles, and that little humming sound she makes when she's happy. That morning, Ellie was sitting at the table coloring a unicorn wearing a crown when my phone buzzed. My mom's message glared back at me. "We're skipping your kid's birthday. Things are tight." No explanation. No apology. Just a dismissive statement tossed at me like a scrap. I typed, "No problem," because what else do you say when the people who should care simply do? But it was a problem, to me, and especially to Ellie. Her birthday came that weekend. She wore her little purple dress and asked if we could make cupcakes instead of a cake. Rain hammered the windows, so we had a picnic in the living room. A few of her friends came. She laughed and danced and tried so hard to enjoy it. But when the day grew quiet, she looked at the unlit candle on her last cupcake and whispered, "Maybe next year." She didn't cry. She just cleaned the glitter and carried on the way children do when they don't want to trouble the adults who love them. Something in me shifted that night, a soft, aching fracture. Christmas arrived faster than I expected. Ellie woke early, clutching a drawing she'd made for my parents, two grandparents holding hands with a little girl between them. She waited by the window, humming to herself, keeping hope warm the way only a child can. But the hours slipped by. No call, no message, not even an accidental emoji. When she drifted away to watch a movie, I opened my laptop. I shouldn't have, I knew better. The first thing I saw was my parents' living room. A massive tree, heaps of gifts, balloon arches. My sister Marissa's kids ripping into presents like a holiday commercial. My mom beaming, holding a glitter-covered box. The caption, "So blessed to be with our favorite little ones." Favorite. The word hit like a blade. I didn't hear Ellie walk up behind me until she whispered, "They forgot me again, didn't they?" I pulled her close, but the silence between us said everything. That night, after she fell asleep beside me, I sat in the dim hall feeling the weight of years. Every bill I paid, every crisis I solved, every emergency they claimed was life or death until I needed help. And suddenly, something inside me aligned. A clean, sharp line between what I used to tolerate and what I would no longer allow. The next morning, clarity came like a quiet storm. I sat at my laptop and opened the payments tab. Phone plans, insurance, memberships, automatic transfers that had become invisible shackles. My hand didn't even tremble. Cancel. 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 Not revenge, just liberation. Around mid-morning, my phone buzzed. Not my parents, of course not. Marissa. Scarlett, Dad's freaking out. Mom's crying. Everything got shut off. Did you do something? "I'm just done," I said. She paused, then whispered, "Good." The rest of that day was oddly peaceful, like my home finally belonged to us. But peace, in families like mine, is always the calm before an inevitable storm. And at exactly 9:00 the next morning, the storm arrived. The pounding at my door shook the frame. Ellie jumped, cereal nearly spilling. I held her behind me and opened the door only an inch. My father's face filled the gap, red, frantic, furious. "What did you do?" he snarled. "The phone's dead. The insurance is gone, even the membership. You think this is funny?" Behind him stood my mom, pale and wringing her purse strap. My Aunt Valerie and cousin Tessa, arms crossed, ready to judge. "Everything I paid for," I said quietly. "I stopped paying for." He tried to shove the door wider, but I blocked it with my foot. "You're poisoning Ellie," he spat, turning her against her family. Family? I almost laughed. The same family who skipped her birthday because things were tight, then posted a Christmas extravaganza for their favorite kids. Valerie scoffed. "You're being dramatic." Tessa added, "Everyone, saying you're overreacting again." Ellie stepped out from behind me, small but steady. "They forgot me," she whispered. "Again." Silence spread like ice. Then I handed my father a printed packet. He refused to touch it, but he read the top line anyway. His face drained of color. "It's a loan application," I said. "In my name, using my identity, $8,000, and my signature forged." Mom gasped. Valerie muttered a prayer. Tessa stepped back. My father stammered. "It was a misunderstanding. You didn't need it as much as we did." "You stole from your own daughter," I said, "and justified it." He lunged for the papers, but I pulled them away. "If you file anything," he began. I already did. The hallway froze, absolutely silent. "I'll do anything to protect my daughter," I said, "even from you." Ellie tugged my sleeve. "Mom, can we close the door?" "Yes, baby." And I shut it. He didn't stop it this time. He didn't have the right. After that day, everything changed. There were no apologies, no explanations, just distant relatives posting vague quotes about ungrateful daughters. Marissa visited once, bringing groceries. "I'm not surprised," she said quietly. "Dad tried something like that with me once." Life in our apartment softened. Ellie painted again, bright swirling colors. One of her pieces was chosen for her school's winter art show. She stood beside it, glowing with quiet pride. I got a raise at work, steady income, steady life. Our home felt lighter, warmer, whole. One evening, as we decorated our little tree, Ellie hung a tiny gold unicorn ornament she'd bought with her allowance. She stepped back, smiling like she'd placed magic on a branch. "You like it, Mom?" "I love it," I said, and I meant it. Because family isn't defined by blood. It's defined by who shows up, who protects, who loves without conditions. Walking away didn't break us. It saved us. And if you've ever had to choose peace over chaos, tell me in the comments. You're not alone. For days after the confrontation, the hallway outside my apartment felt different, quieter, like the walls themselves were exhaling after years of holding their breath. I expected rage, threats, chaos clawing its way back to my doorstep. But what came instead was something stranger. Silence. Heavy. Calculated. The kind of silence that means someone is planning their next move. The police officer who took my report called 2 days later. Calm voice, clipped words. "We're moving forward with the investigation, Ms. Avery." Hearing it out loud made everything feel real, dangerous, but justified. Ellie listened from the couch, pretending to color, but her hand slowed on the page. I sat beside her, tucking a strand of her hair behind her ear. "Are we in trouble?" she whispered. "No," I said, "we're safe." And for once, I wasn't lying. The family turns. By the end of the week, the family group chat, which I'd muted years ago, was on fire. Not with concern, not with accountability, but with the same predictable chorus. "We don't air family business. You should have handled this privately. You're tearing the family apart." And the ever-classic from Aunt Valerie. "Forgiveness is a virtue." I blocked them one by one. Marissa showed up that Friday, a grocery bag in one hand and exhaustion in her eyes. "They're saying you're trying to ruin Dad's life," she said. I laughed, short, humorless. He ruined parts of mine for years. She nodded, then lowered her voice. Mom's spiraling. She keeps saying Dad didn't mean it, but she's also scared. I think she knew more than she ever admitted. I wasn't surprised. Complicity is quiet, subtle, easy to disguise as helplessness. When Marissa left, Ellie sat cross-legged on the rug, building a tiny fortress out of her blocks. Why do people say things that aren't true? She asked. Because sometimes the truth scares them, I said. She nodded like it made perfect sense. The retaliation. The next week, the retaliation began. Not physically, not directly, but in the ways people like my father operate. Through manipulation, through lies, through whispers meant to corner you into submission. My landlord knocked one evening, hat in hand. I got a call, he said awkwardly. A man claiming you were unstable and might damage the property. I closed my eyes, jaw tightening. Of course. Classic Howard. I'm fine, I said slowly. You've never had a single issue with me, not one. He nodded quickly. I know, I just wanted to check in, and I'm sorry you're dealing with whatever that was. After he left, Ellie crawled into my lap. Is Grandpa mad because he got caught? Yes, baby. Is that why he's being mean? I brushed her hair back and kissed her forehead. Sometimes people lash out when they lose control. She leaned into me. Good thing we don't live with him. The simplicity of her truth almost broke me. The shift in me. Something else began to change, slowly, steadily. I started sleeping better, breathing deeper, laughing more easily. It's strange how peace feels foreign when you've lived on constant edge. One evening, I sat at the kitchen table with a cup of tea as Ellie painted beside me. Mom, she said suddenly, your face is softer now. I blinked, softer. Yeah, she shrugged. You don't look sad when you think nobody's looking. Children notice everything. The investigation moves forward. A month later, the detective called again. Ms. Avery, we've confirmed the signatures were forged. We're requesting statements from your parents. My stomach tightened. Even when the justice is deserved, the fear sits heavy. That night, Ellie climbed into my bed, afraid of a nightmare she couldn't describe. I wrapped my arms around her and held her close. We're okay, I whispered into her hair. You're sure? Absolutely. But I lay awake long after she fell asleep. The unexpected visitor. The next morning, someone knocked, not pounding, not raging. A soft, tentative tap. When I looked through the peephole, I froze. Linda. My mother. No makeup, no polished smile. Just tired, withered eyes and trembling hands. I opened the door an inch. Scarlett, her voice cracked. Can I come in? I hesitated, feeling the weight of years pressing against my ribs. Then Ellie appeared beside me, holding her stuffed unicorn. My mother's eyes filled with tears at the sight. I didn't know, she whispered. I don't believe you, I said gently. You always knew, you just didn't stop it. She flinched, not from cruelty, but from recognition. I'm sorry, she breathed. I don't expect forgiveness, I don't want to lose you, or her. Ellie stepped closer, clutching my sweater. Are you going to forget me again? She asked. My mother broke, quietly, painfully. No, she whispered. I won't. I didn't know if it was true. Apologies are easy. Change is hard. But for the first time in years, she didn't look like a woman defending her husband. She looked like a mother afraid of losing her daughter. I'm not asking for a place in your life, she said softly. Just a chance to make things right. I didn't answer immediately. Some doors don't need to be slammed. Some don't need to be opened either. Some simply stay cracked, just enough to let the light in, not enough to let the storm return.